Welcome to the Dreamroom Studio. Come on in.
If you can think back, like since you opened up, what's like one memorable project that sticks out
My
to you?
very first client was an OVO artist.
And do you have like dreams and aspirations of like having your own business? Like how do you go from window detailing to say, I'm gonna do a studio?
It was a transmission shop, so it took me quite some time to renovate this beautiful white space.
Hello and welcome to the Hustle Over Everything podcast. This is the podcast where we receive stories, tips, and tactics for entrepreneurs who have done it. Today, we are in Dreamroom Studios. I'm Alex.
And I'm Owen Osinde.
And today, we have a special podcast for you where we're talking to somebody who is doing it. You know, we partnered with Invest Durham to showcase some opportunities in Durham Region, to showcase entrepreneurs who are currently creating spaces and opportunities for people in Durham. So today we have Ashley Santacona in the building. Ashley, how are you?
Hey guys, thank you so much for coming. I'm so thrilled that you made it to Durham Region and at the Dreamroom Studio.
Is this your first interview?
This is my first interview about the space and kind of my journey here, getting me here.
So we have something in common.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do.
We're both from Scarborough. You know what I'm saying? So originally you're from like the Morningside area, was it?
Yeah, Kingston Road in Lawrence.
Kingston Road in Lawrence.
Yeah.
I actually used to go to church around there.
Nice.
Shout out to the Scarborough SDA, the old location, you know what I'm saying? And the old mall that used to be around there.
Morningside Mall.
Morningside
with
Mall.
the Dominion.
Exactly.
That was
Dominion.
The Dominion, yeah.
Do they still exist? Or?
I don't even think so. I think
They had the best rotisserie chicken.
Oh, they
Right?
did.
Like the skin on that chicken was just
It was so crispy.
insane.
Yeah.
So crispy and mint.
Most definitely. And around that time, you're doing child acting and stuff like that?
Yeah, so when I lived in Scarborough, I was a childhood actor with Eleanor Fulcher for full-time modeling. They took us out to New York City, which was awesome. So I was 5 years old walking the runway with all these models. They're 21 plus, and it was an improvement class as well. So I learned kind of like women's etiquette and how to walk and kind of how to sit and be polite at 5 years old. Yeah. I'm walking down the runway practicing and I'm waving my hips back and forth and they're like, Ash, you can't do that, you're too young, because I'm trying to copy these older girls. So it was pretty funny to see. I would love to be able to watch myself and how I acted at the time.
Where did that desire to model come from?
Honestly, I think just my mom being in public and everyone's like, oh, your daughter, she's so cute, you should put her in modeling, I think she'd be great. So that's kind of how my mom put me into it, just getting the comments about me.
You know, some moms these days are like, they get their babies in like these like diaper commercials.
Yeah.
Like from a kid, like the kid doesn't even know what's going on.
They don't even know what's going on.
They wake up one day and they're like, yo, you know that was like you on the diapers? These like when you're a little kid?
Yeah.
Just trying to cash in like for the little kid.
Yeah. I didn't do diaper stuff, but I did the runway modeling. I was in the One of a Kind show in Toronto. Every single bridal show, I was in those. International Center, that's where they did the bridal shows. And then New York was like a huge hit for me, bringing home awards. I got scouted. They wanted me to move there, but my parents, they own their own company, so we couldn't just pick up and move for my modeling career. I think it was a great move because I did not grow tall enough to do fashion runway, but that's okay. It didn't bring me down. It led me to the filming world. I did do acting. I was in a milk commercial, Quaker Oats, Cooperators, a Furby commercial.
You were out here.
Yeah, I was out there. I was in the Pickering Mall flyers, doing a little bit of like pre-teen modeling, and then after that I just went straight sports, hockey, baseball, soccer, kind of lived my childhood life when I moved to Whippy after Scarborough.
Yeah, I can imagine. With your modeling career and like everything you're doing then, when did you realize like it was a time to wrap it up and move on?
I feel like it was time when agencies started kind of rejecting me, especially when it came to acting. They would always say, oh, my height, you're not tall enough. they required this height at this age. Just because of like camera leveling and auditions, they don't want to have to move the camera all the time, so they have a specific height. So it's easier for them to go through casting calls and all that stuff. And I totally get it, but I kind of, didn't want to get my feelings hurt, so I just kind of quit and just said, I'll just take a break. When we moved to Whippy, I needed to make new friends. I lost all my friends from Scarborough. It was a new environment, so it was tough moving when I was in grade 4. So yeah, new environment, especially when you're a girl. There's already cliques. You've already made your friends from kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now you have to reinvent yourself.
I had to reinvent myself, and I was very tomboy after that. I really went tomboy. I looked up to my older brother. He played hockey and fun stuff like that. So he beefed me up. He kind of gave me some encouragement to move forward and just forget about the modeling, just fit in. Just fit in and don't embarrass me kind of thing. Yeah. In high school, I got a hobby into makeup, and I did all my girlfriends' makeup, and it pushed me into taking it further into a career. So I went to the School of Professional Makeup, learned prosthetics, hair on set for film. And then I got a job after high school in IATSE for the Toronto film industry, sets and fun stuff like that.
When do you transition from like being like a tomboyish to doing makeup?
I think, so from elementary school, I was very tomboy because I played hockey and I did soccer and baseball. And then I think when I hit grade 8, boys kind of started coming into our lives, having crushes and stuff like that. I wanted to start being more girly, so I got into makeup more and more, bringing back my modeling days when I was getting pampered all the time, getting my hair done. I brought that love back and got more passion for it again, and kind of showed my skills with my girlfriends, and I did their makeup. And then in high school, they were always coming to me to do their makeup, their Halloween, fun outfits and whatnot. And then grade 12, when it came to, applying for universities and whatnot, I went the private school route for film makeup and hair as well. So that's kind of from my childhood to my adults, high school, college days, if you would say. Not traditional college for me, because I stayed home, and it was private school in the Toronto district area, Danforth and Sinclair. The school's no longer there anymore. It was 10, 12 years ago now.
And how long was it like existing for?
I think he opened his company in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, the School of Professional Makeup. Rob. Oh my gosh, Rob, I'm so sorry if you're watching this. I forget your last name.
I didn't know there's professional makeup schools. That's interesting.
Oh, no,
yeah, so when it comes to IATSE, the Toronto film production companies, they need, professional makeup people, their team, their key makeup artists doing prosthetics and cool Grinch kind of makeup and gory horror movie stuff.
Yeah.
I learned all that with the program at the Professional School of Makeup, and it was a really cool experience, which then led me into getting a job at IATSE in 2013, which was a really cool experience. I worked there for a bit as a permit, and then just having the vibe of the crew, seeing how they make their films, got me thinking, maybe I could do this one day. Maybe I could have my own film set, my own production space, and I could be an independent team. And when you're working with so many people on a crew with hundreds of people, the negativity is always around, and it's not the nicest environment, I'll tell you. But at the end of the day, they always do pull through and have a really cool production, and then they do celebrate. But I think just, being a permit worker and kind of stepping on toes, and the key people, they don't like that. So they just kind of rush you out, and it kind of just intimidated me. So I kind of quit the makeup industry for a while, and I went independent. That's kind of where I'm getting at here. I went independent. I started doing spray tanning as well, because it kind of correlates with the makeup, the whole glam and hair. Yeah.
You said that there was a negative experience on sets.
Yeah.
What was happening?
They just, it's such high pressure because they're paying for all these people to be here. There's overtime that they have to do if they don't get these scenes set up fast enough, or if the makeup's not correct or anything. They don't care about your feelings. They just go at you. I mean, I'm not trying to knock the film industry at all. I'm inspired by it my whole life. I've been inspired by it. I want to inspire people to get involved, especially independently. It's more fun.
Because they see those people as like disposable or something, that they
Yeah.
can treat them like that?
Yeah, they treat them as like disposable. It's like, okay, you're here to help me quick and you're out. Like, you're not a part of our crew, you're not our team, you're not the one getting the money, we're paying you to be here kind of thing.
And if you don't like it,
And if you don't like it, we will replace you,
Yeah.
is kind of the thing. Because there's so many people trying to be in that famous realm, but really it's not what people think it is. When it comes to real universal type deal of film, it's scary.
And like going to school for makeup, being in the industry, was that like a gut check for you when I had to leave?
Yeah, emotionally, it was a little bit of a gut check. I just kind of wanted to check out and see if there was something else for me to do, but it somehow led me right back into the film world. I took some time. I went and lived in the States for a bit with my family. They're professional jet skiers, so I went on tour with them, and I took my film school opportunity and kind of helped them out with their career, and I put them first. So I have a big home feeling for people. I just want to make them feel comfortable. I want them and their dreams to go forward, and that's kind of why I built my space. If I didn't go to Toronto Film School after I took that break from makeup, I don't even know if I would be here today, opening this space. Toronto Film School was a huge inspiration that, okay, I can do this. I learned how to do all the hats on a production scene. Yeah. And then, I just really wanted everyone to have their own space. Because Toronto's far.
Yeah, what's interesting is that you almost thank school. A lot of people dismiss school nowadays. The current trend is to say school is not even worth it.
Yeah.
But it feels like you're on the opposite side of that.
Okay, I'm on I'm on the fence with this one. I feel that school is a great opportunity to meet people like yourselves in the same realm for film industry. It gives you the connection to step outside of school after, okay, we have that skill, I know you have that skill, I trust you, and we can make a project together. You know what I mean? So I have these connections down the road since I graduated in 2016. I can call up somebody and say, hey, I remember you, I have a studio now, let's connect, let's do stuff. So that's a big thing about school, is finding people that are in the same kind of creative venue as you, and then we can push together independently.
Got you. And what's the negative connotation you have for school?
The negative side is when I went to Toronto Film School, I was kind of a guinea pig at the time. They were just starting out their production of teaching courses. What else? I mean, no one wants to go to school. People don't want to take the time to learn. It's a lot of money and a lot of time when you just want to be creative and you're already going to school to be creative. You kind of already learned on YouTube. YouTube is the real university for our generation today. But I guess it's just, you gotta pick and choose what you really want to learn, and when you want to learn something, you're gonna focus on it.
Yeah. You know what I see coming up now is YouTube creators creating their own university.
Yes.
Airwack, if you heard of Airwack or Eric?
No.
He's a YouTube creator, and he decided his own university where he grew his following on YouTube from 0 to 1 million in a year.
What?
And then he started teaching other people how to do that, and then having a
That's so
system
cool.
where they can be in the system with other people that are trying to create YouTube videos. I feel like that is gonna do a ton of disruption when it comes to creators that are trying to build something up new.
Yeah. And it's also a shorter period to learn something. You don't have to spend 4 years taking unnecessary courses
To get to that one major
thing. I could have done, for example, accounting. You don't have to take the geography, the arts, and all these stuff before you get to the actual discipline of why you're in school. And I think for you, being in the film school, it's a shorter period than 4 years.
Yes,
Is that right?
It was an 18-month program at
Yeah.
Toronto Film School, and they've combined it such a big course in this short period of time that you only get so much time on one section in one unit, and then you're on to the next thing. And there's so many people in the course that we didn't get enough time in front of the camera or rehearsal time or to really work on our demo reel that we're supposed to get. I don't know about today. I know that they've got more campuses. They have more resources of technology that you can use that I never had a chance to use for the amount of money I paid for. But I mean, it's just stepping stones with trusting different schools and private schools as well.
So you're someone who likes to go after their dreams. You've like done multiple things one after one. So how do we get to Dream Studio? Like, walk us through that.
The Dreamroom Studio.
Dream Studio, yeah.
So basically, yeah, I guess after film school, I kind of just took a little bit of a break. I worked next door to my studio now, doing window detailing and window tints and detailing. And then I just had an opportunity. This space beside them came up for lease, and I jumped on it. I signed the lease and started renovating. It was a transmission shop, so it took me quite some time to renovate this beautiful white space.
And did you have like dreams and aspirations of like having your own business? Like, how do you go from window detailing to say, I'm gonna do a studio?
Well, I mean, going back from when I was a child, just being a model, childhood actor, leading myself into makeup, then leading myself into adult acting and modeling, I was like, okay, what's in this for me? I have all these tools that I could use, but I don't have the money to, invest in all the equipment, or should I invest in opening a space because I am from Durham Region, and Toronto was such a hike to get there, parking, you're paying for all these extra things to get to your production, and then the production is so much money because you have to rent their space and rent over all the equipment and whatnot. So it's like, hey, how can I make it easier for us creatives out here? How can I, bring my knowledge to the table and open something that's there for you guys to explore and do what I want to do, but I'm almost there.
Exactly.
Yeah, most definitely. And once you got the lease and everything, what was like the process of actually converting it? How long did that take?
So I got this space in 2019 of January, and I did not know that the pandemic was gonna, take us down. Everybody was affected by that, but I did not let that get me down. I kept pushing forward. So 2019, it was a lot of gutting in here. It was very dark. There wasn't a lot of lighting, a lot of grease everywhere, a lot of scrubbing, smelling like gasoline for months and months, almost a full year, I would say. And then
it's like a thick coat on your skin. It's just permanent.
Yeah, like all my clothes just reeked of gasoline and oil spills because it was automotive. Then 2020, I started doing the build, started painting, started getting my structure up. And then it was a little bit of a struggle getting the wall because it's so big, and not a lot of people out here in Toronto or Ontario know how to build a cyc wall. I was very fortunate. A high school friend of mine has his own studio that he works with, and they were building a cyc wall at the time I was building mine, and he kind of lent me a hand. Scott, thank you so much. Yeah, that was awesome of him. So he helped me build that wall.
Shout out to Scott.
Yeah, shout out to Scott.
So did you hire contractors as well? Or
I did not hire contractors. I did a lot of the work myself. I put on that hard hat and I strive forward because the wood started going up, everything started getting expensive, and all my money went into material, and then I was left over with next to nothing. And my mom and dad, they said, hey, we're here for you, but you're doing this. You can build it yourself. A lot of family, a lot of friends. I want to shout out to Chuck McDade. I could not have made my loft and the rest of my space without you, and I'm so appreciative for all the people that has helped me out on the journey of building the Dreamroom Studio.
No, absolutely. And like, how has Durham Region been able to support you like with other resources in terms of like being able to get your business out there, advertising it? How have you been getting community support?
You know what? It's a lot of word of mouth. A lot of people just coming into this plaza for car things, and just my Facebook friends and a little bit of Instagram. People kind of just started noticing me, and they come in here. They're like, "Wow, I never knew you were here." I'm still slowly bringing on the marketing value to get the space out and known. I had That Open Space. They're a nonprofit company. They found me looking for a space to do a workshop for their photography and film workshops. So they got the space here. That was a great kind of shout out for them as well, and a great opportunity for them to host their workshops. Unfortunately, I don't have all the equipment, but this nonprofit, they have the equipment, they bring all the stuff, and they get the students in here that don't have the money to go to university to learn the techniques and pay these thousands of dollars. So That Open Space is kind of your mini crash course in a workshop to do all the film industry stuff. So I was happy to have them here and open up my facility to the creatives here. Who else have I had here? A lot of musicians, recording artists, they've come to me to bring their cars in and do music videos, so they're kind of supporting me, and I'm helping them out as much as I can, because I know it is a struggle to pay for their dreams as well, and we all have to make money too.
We all gotta eat.
We all gotta eat. So I just want to be fair and compromise as much as I can.
Yeah. For like creatives out there, what should they know about Durham Region? Like, you know, for us, we're coming from Toronto and we're here.
Yes.
What are some things that like can provide creatives with like perhaps access and opportunities that we don't know about that has kept your business here instead of like going to like another big city?
I think my location is pretty key. I'm right at the 401 exit and the Westney GO train station, so you're super easy to access me. I'm like a 5-minute walk, not even, maybe 45 minute drive from Toronto City, and you can get right off at Westney. We are a private location, so we have parking, and you can bring your whole crew here and you won't have to pay for parking. So that's a big bonus, I feel. We have this major wall. We kind of have the Toronto loft vibe coming off here. As much as I could relate to Toronto, I wanted to bring Toronto out this way for the Durham people. So I think when people do come here, they're like, wow, I feel like I'm in Toronto. And then I step out and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in Durham. I forgot, I'm here in Durham.
Facts. I think one of your biggest advantages too is the GO train access as well.
Yeah.
You know, like literally like 10 minutes from the GO train station, walking.
Yeah,
like,
walking,
like,
if you're a fast walker, like 5'7".
Exactly, and like by car it's a minute, literally. So I think that's a huge advantage too for people that are just starting their careers and just need that space, you know.
I'm like that, sorry to cut you off, but like I'm that middleman to getting you to Toronto. Because Toronto is where it's at. It has all the opportunities to get you and the connections to get you to where you're striving to be. We're your kind of supporters. I'm the middleman to support you, to help you get your demo started, that you can get noticed and get your agents to boost you out to Toronto, and then they will pay for it.
What's the cost difference in terms of like renting a space like this compared to like a downtown core where a studio will be more expensive and you're passing that cost on to your client?
I think just because the economy has gone up in real estate value, I think it's under the owner's discretion to up their rent, because they have so many things like heat, hydro, water, electricity, the plugs, all that stuff, and then everything just kind of adds up. So I understand why they're making it expensive. Out here, our real estate isn't as prime as, you know, a Toronto location would be, because we're not the city. So Durham Region is more laid back in terms of, you know, rents and, you know, how you can price out your clientele to use your space. And then it also comes down to what equipment you have to offer, what the value of this equipment is, and also your time, who's gonna be here in the facility to open the door. Because I am a private location, I don't have any staff at the moment. I don't have the money to, pay for staff, so that's a little bit of a less cost for me in terms of having to dish out so much on top of rent, on top of the internet bill, on top of the phone bill. It all adds up. So wrapping your head around the cost, I feel like we are able to accommodate somebody's lifestyle here in Durham than it would cost in Toronto when Starbucks coffee is like $21. You know what I mean?
It's outrageous.
Yeah, it's outrageous. I don't know really how to compare, because Toronto is just so unique and everyone wants to be in the city, so it's prime. They're gonna be like, well, I'm $500. I know you want to be here.
You have no other choice.
You have no other choice. I mean, here, there's a few other studios with competition. It's just like, how do you price yourself and compete when you're brand new and you still need the lights on, but you're not getting the money to pay for the lights on? So, I don't know. It's hard. I'll tell you that. We want to make people come, but we don't want to put our prices so low that they're like, well, why are their prices so low when this studio's this much and their studio's smaller than this studio here, the Dreamroom Studio?
Yeah. No, this is a premium studio.
Yeah.
Like this in Toronto would go, like you would charge anything and people would like, all right, cool. Like I understand, because you got the kitchen, you got a recording studio up top, which is like so hard to find in the city.
Yeah.
Even when we were looking at podcast setups, went to different locations, but there was no offering even there, so.
We tried one, and it was a small
little
corner,
loft. Not
It
even.
was an office room that was like makeshift into a podcast room.
It was legit, no shade, exactly. It was like a small room like this, maybe till like up to like where the chairs are at, but it's tough to find it.
Like these guys are doing, they made this little podcast in a little corner because they're just trying to make ends meet, and they're trying to put something out there for you guys because it is in demand. When things are in demand, price goes up.
Yeah.
Because people want it the most. But in Durham Region, and the way I work, I'm such a big family person that I don't look at you as my clients. I look at you as my brothers and sisters coming here to use my playground and have fun. I want to make money, but I don't want to nickel and dime every little thing I have here. I want to make it one set price for you to come have fun, do your thing, and save a few dollars for whatever extra project or event you're doing. I think I've struggled with finding my happy medium and where I want to set my rates. But I feel like because the economy is going up, and especially here in Durham now, rates always go up and they could come down. So I just want to make sure everyone's comfortable and happy at all times here in the space, especially when it comes to pricing, because I don't want to lose out on any opportunity for you or for me at the same time. So I just want to be equal too. And fair. Fairness is everything, and I think, not setting your standards so high, you get that trust from people.
Has that been the biggest challenge so far? Is just like finding the price market fit?
Yeah, that's my biggest challenge, is because I'm such a large facility, right? 1,800 square feet, 19 feet high, and almost 600 and a little bit square foot psych wall, like you said, in Toronto would be like $300 to $500 an hour. It's just ridiculous. I think I wouldn't pay that. I'm just thinking, in my own perspective, if I were to go downtown and do a podcast thing, like in my creative side that I want to do, I wouldn't want to pay those prices. So I'm going to look further east to see if it's a little cheaper and they have value to Toronto's value.
So how do you balance the fact that you do have to run a business and you also have to you know, you're providing these opportunities for other people. Like, where do you draw the line where you're like, you know what, I can't, even though I want to see your dreams come true, I have a business to run. How do you juggle that? Because just from hearing you speak, it sounds like you want to give a lot of people opportunities, see their dreams come true, but the reality is like business has to grow, has to move. And yeah, I'd love to learn more about that. How do you balance that financial side of things and also like the moral part of things to see people get their ideas out there?
Well, it's very overwhelming, I'll tell you that, especially running the company by myself. And putting the company first. I know I have dreams and aspirations to do fun, creative things, but at the end of the day, my fun and creative things don't pay the bills like the studio rental would pay my bills. It sucks. It sucks. I'll tell you that. Running your own company, it sucks, but it has its major plus in the end because you're creating something and seeing so many beautiful things come out of it. It still inspires me to get ideas for my creative side when I'm kind of ready to push it. Doing public events here at the studio, as well as still opening my company and getting the exposure, kind of helps me still be creative and still have the company and the business run at the same time. So I can have a lot of things going on at once. And I got like ADD. My family's like, are you okay? My website guy, he's like, okay, calm down. You're okay. We're going to push through. We're going to get you online. We're going to get this going. I still want to do recording. I still want to do this. I want to do that. It's just like there's not enough time in the day. I think that's where I'm trying to get. There's not enough hours in the day to accomplish your list of things you got to get done for the month. And then you're thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't have enough people in the studio. I got to pay my bills. How do I get these people in here? Which I went the whole public route, doing the seasonal events. You know, getting the attraction to the studio is the hardest thing, especially when you're not getting the income to pay for your marketing services on top of your bills, on top of everything. Yeah.
It's a real challenge.
It's a challenge, yeah. Lots of hats here, lots of hats, especially starting from the beginning, from the construction hat to, from the makeup artist to the construction hat to the business person to the accounting to, you know, being the interviewed, all of it.
Which one's more challenging, you know, actually building it or running it? Have you found?
I'd say running it, yeah. Definitely go to business school. Go to business school if you're in the creative side. Maybe take like a business course or go on YouTube and just learn how to run a company. But I'd say because of technology these days, there's new ways of marketing your company, and the old school business way isn't the same as today's business way. There's a lot of influencers out there, like you were mentioning, that do the podcast about how to run a company, how to push your company forward. How do you get more followers? How do you do this? How do you do that?
What's been working for you so far?
What's working for me is my website, making sure that my website, the real estate, the domain gets that trust. Because yeah, social media is great. It's a quick flick through to find the company. Yeah, you see it, but your goal is to get them to your website. You want to show off your services. You want to show off your package. You want to show off all that. Meanwhile, yeah, Instagram showing the videos, the photos and stuff, they're just liking it. But are they really interested in the space for what it's for?
Yeah.
Not for who's in it, who's been here, what they've done. How do you get them here? You know, yeah, they've been enticed by Instagram, but I think my main focus is the domain, the website.
I get what you're saying. Like, you know, as a marketer, one of the two things that we have to define is people who are, you know, in casual mode when they're just looking around.
Yes.
And people who are in hunt mode.
That's
but they're
right.
bleeding neck. I need to get this thing.
I need
Yeah.
a booking right now.
I need a booking right now.
They go right to Google. They go right to Google or whatever, you know, space rentals are out there. They type in the keywords. Like, how did you guys find me?
Yeah. I found you through Google, through Invest Durham. Shout out to Invest Durham.
Yeah, Invest Durham. That's awesome.
And those are the two methods that I kind of used to find you. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. See, like if I didn't have my website or my Google set up, how would you have found me?
But here's the reality though. Right now, TikTok has more traffic than Google.
Wow.
This is the reality. More people are going to be searching studios in Oshawa, in Ajax, in Durham
Through TikTok.
And
I gotta
you're also
jump on TikTok.
Yeah.
I found other studios. Not when I was searching for studios
yeah,
for him
yeah.
to showcase Durham region.
There is a lot of studios in Durham that are great. Like we have, we're bigging up Durham. We're trying to compete with Toronto. We know the value of creativity here, so we want to keep it here in Durham. We want to create our own city, our own environment, keep it safe, keep it peaceful, and yeah, we just want to make sure everybody's safe, because when we're on set, what's number one? We want our crew and our staff and our talent to be safe, because we don't want to have, discrepancies. And yeah.
100% agree. Awesome, yeah. Should we do the tour?
Yeah. One last thing. Like, what's the most you mentioned you've had a lot of people in this place. If you can think back and like since you opened up, what's like one memorable project that sticks out to you?
Not really a funny story, but just a small world. I opened April Fool's Day, and I wasn't planning on opening, so it just kind of landed on April Fool's Day of 2021. I had a OVO artist, shout out to Bugs. He was messaging me, bugging me to, open up the studio. I was just pretty much finished with all my construction. I was ready to open. Just kind of had like the nervous feeling, okay, can I do this in the middle of the pandemic? Should I open? But he just was on top of me. I need to get my music video out. I need to do this. Sorry for the wait. I want to come in. I want to get it done. So I opened the doors and I had Bugs. He was my first client. It was pretty cool having my very first client was an OVO artist, Bugs. So it was very shocking, but very thrilling.
My first client was an OVO artist.
Yeah. So his team found my studio and they were just wowed. Yeah. And I wish he could have, passed my name along in,
like Drake or something.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe one day, but it's okay. I'm here for the independents. I'm here for the independent crews. We have so many dreams and movies and commercials, and getting our name out there independently is the best. All these corporations, they've been there, they've done that. They circulate through the universities to find those people, and it's just we're very disposable to them. But when it comes to independency, there's so much creativity, and you just create a family, and it's so much fun. It's more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you wake up every day and you have all this things you got to do, is that what keeps you going? Is just
your team,
your independence?
Honestly, your team, your independence, and when you're getting a lot of no's and rejections from sponsors, your team is there to uplift your spirit and say, don't give up, we're gonna get a win, we're gonna get these people in here, we're gonna have them support us. We're not the only ones out here. There's a lot of people looking for the same thing, so you just don't give up. There's 10 no's to get you to a 1 yes, right?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that's a dream client that you'd love to work with?
Ooh, honestly, I just want to support anybody that, has a dream, has talent, and wants to continue and really push it and work hard towards getting to that top tier level. And if I can help you in any way, that's the type of client I want. I want to see that growth. I want that underground client that's gonna turn to success, These celebrities and stuff, it would be awesome to have them to come to my studio and big it up and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just they already have their PR team, they already have their locations, they want to go there, they're comfortable, they have trust, and that's cool. But if I could have anybody, I don't know. There's just so many people out there.
And like lastly, like when it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered in Durham?
You know, I just want to be remembered as a good staple to the community, to create an environment that parents can feel that their child's safe being creative, because a lot of kids could get hurt in the industry when it comes to drugs and alcohol and abuse, especially for girls when it comes to the music industry. These people can be not polite and push you into things. So we just want to keep it safe. I think that's just my main goal, is to have the trust in the community here and build an environment for the creatives.
Amazing.
That was a beautiful way to end it,
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for doing this for me. It was a pleasure having you here in the studio. And I want you back more and more.
No, we're definitely going to come back.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're going to have projects.
Yeah, lots of projects to be built here. I mean, this is still the beginning of my journey opening the studio. Now that COVID's over and people are planning their projects and ready to film again, I'm here. I'm ready for you.
All right, so for people wondering, I was looking at the camera right there and be like, hey, why should people come to Dreamroom Studios?
Come to my studio and you will never have this experience anywhere else. It's like you didn't leave your house. I will treat you like you're a celebrity, and whatever you need, I'm here for you.
Boom. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the podcast. Also, what you can control, so control your grind and control your life. I'm Alex.
I'm Ono Sinde.
And I'm Ashley. Thank you for having me at the Dreamroom Studio.
Wow.